Good evening. Welcome to our midweek meditation. Just be present here. Take a deep breath and let it out, and let yourself be fully here for this midweek pause. Tonight, we're going to find out what this, may peace prevail on earth, have to do with this, a sword. They don't seem like they have all that much in common, but tonight we're going to find out what they do. Let's find out together.
Today's scripture reading comes from Matthew chapter 10, verses 24 through 39. A disciple is not above the teacher, nor a slave above the master. It is enough for the disciple to be like the teacher, and the slave like the master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebul, how much more will they malign those of his household? So have no fear of them, for nothing is covered up that will not be uncovered, and nothing secret that will become known. What I say to you in the dark, tell in the light, and what you hear whispered, proclaim from the housetops. Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather, fear him who can destroy both the soul and body in hell. Are not two sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground apart from your Father. And even the hairs of your head will all be counted. So do not be afraid. You are of more value than many sparrows. Everyone, therefore, who acknowledges me before others, I will also acknowledge before my Father in heaven. For whoever denies me before others, I will also deny before my Father in heaven. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but in a sword. For I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And one's foes will be members of one's own household. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever does not take up the cross and follow me is also not worthy of me. Those who find their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake shall find it.
This scripture calls us into hard places, but it calls us into something which you already know well. Let me give you some examples. This tree was supposed to be dead a couple years ago. And as you can tell, it has leaves on it again. What we did was we cut off the parts that were dead, and we let it rejuvenate itself and put its life towards the healthiest parts of the tree. And it has allowed it to live more years than we thought it would, because we cut off the dead parts. Do you know what these are right here? Can you tell through this camera what those are? Those are ticks that we picked off the dog recently after we went hiking. And how many of you would leave ticks on your pet or ticks on yourself without picking them off? No, you would not. As soon as you see them, you get them off of your skin or you get them off of your dog, and you do not leave them there. How many of you leave weeds growing in your vegetable garden? How many of you would pluck out the weeds so that they don't end up choking away your tomatoes or whatever vegetables you're growing?
When I say that I'm a recovered alcoholic, what I mean is that I've recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body. I had learned through a 12-step program that my problem isn't so much my drinking, that's but a symptom of the true issue, which ends up, I find out, as my thinking. And I find that I have really caused my own problems by the way I view the world, the way I react, and the way I see things. An important thing that happened before I even got sober, and this church actually really helped me with that, was seeing the world a little bit differently. I used to only see darkness and pain and suffering, and I was depressed all the time. And I thought, someone helped me see something. I felt like a terrible person inside because I'd done a lot of bad things being intoxicated all the time. And she said, just because you did bad things doesn't mean you're a bad person. And I thought, maybe there's something to that. Maybe people aren't so bad. So I started to get rid of this old idea, this old perception, this old vision, the way I saw things. But really changed was my thinking behind it and the way I saw the world. And I started meeting people like the people of this church. And I had thought previously that all Christians were not going to accept me because that had been my experience. They weren't going to love me, they weren't going to welcome me, and you welcomed me with open arms and you loved me. That was instrumental in me cutting away of these old ideas, this old vision, the way I saw things. And I continued to do that through my recovery, as I had to get rid of this old thinking, make space for God. Because I had found that I was trying to live everything on my own self-will. I was trying to control everything. Everyone thought I knew how life should be, and then life didn't go the way I thought it should, and I wasn't so happy. I was the actor in God's play, trying to be the director, which is God. So I'm trying to do God's job, and it's not going the way I like it. So I need to cut away from that, cut away from from selfishness, self-centered thinking, me thinking, and make room for God and to think about others. One of the things my program teaches me is that when all else fails, work with another alcoholic always saves the day. So when things are really bad and I'm really stuck in fear or worry, if I think about someone else and go and try and help someone else, suddenly it's like my problems go away. They've been cut away. From what? I didn't do anything to make them go away. Something else must have came in and cut that away to make more space for love. Because love is always the answer.
And you've witnessed this, probably right even in your own kitchen. These green onions were cut away this weekend. And we cut them away and we used the tops and we planted them in water. And in just a couple days, growth has already happened. The same is with us. This doesn't just apply to plants. It applies to our very lives. It applies to our faith lives. That when we take the time to cut away that which keeps us from health or that which has served its purpose, so that we can move forward into God's love and into greater health and into being the magnificent people we were created to be, new growth follows. It always follows. The cuts may be difficult. It is hard work to cut away from ourselves. It can be scary work, but there will be new life.